Hey guys, what's up? It's me, Ro Jones. Welcome back to my Glow Get Your Love On channel. So today I want to talk about my experience with interracial dating. Dun, dun, dun. um, Clearly it's 2018 and people are like making like beautiful swirly babies all over the world, but it's still a little taboo in some places. And some people have never experienced, they've never even had a friend outside of their race, let alone an intimate partner. So of course, I'm a mocha complected black girl, right? I got the brown skin popping, got a pretty kinky hair. I'm real full in every aspect of my being. So initially, like, I spent like 1 year like just dating strictly white dudes, and it was not a conscious decision. I didn't really think that white dudes would be into my aesthetic because I usually would see them with like super thin, like really, really, really string bean skinny black girls if they are gonna cross over to the other side. And one of my friends, like, we would always hang out, and every place we went, it was just nothing but white dudes. So I'm just like, okay, let's give this a shot. Why not? My boobs are like spilling out. So, the first white guy I ever went out with, I met him at this spa. This little cute little spa. We was having drinks, and he lied and told me his name was John. So funny. But his name was actually, I shouldn't be saying his name, but his name was not John. And I was like, why would you lie and tell me your name was John when you first met me? He was like, oh, because that's just like, the stereotypical white guy name. Like, he was hilarious. My experience with him was cool. He had a lot of insecurities, though. Like, he was a little kooky, and he would always be like, you're so beautiful. Like, you could have any man. Like, why are you dating me? Like, he didn't have a lot of esteem and a lot of confidence, but he was sweet. He was definitely sweet. He was funny. I don't know if I used to laugh at him or laugh with him. But he was a hoot. Like, we had a good time. That was short-lived. I mean, he still hits me up, but I don't really see that going anywhere, The experience was kind of different because he would always talk about, like, the one other African girl that he, like, dated. And he would literally say African. And I'm like, maybe is she, like, literally from, like, Lagos or, like, the Saharan desert? Like, why are you saying African? Like, I didn't know if he meant, like, if he was describing me, is he going to say, oh, I've dated this African girl, like black? Like, I don't know. It's weird. It seems like he didn't really know how to describe me. Like, he would walk on pins and needles in his description of me sometimes. Like, he didn't outright want to be like, yeah, you're black, this black girl. Like, it was always like African or like someone like you, or it was a little tricky in the wording when it came to certain things. And he was definitely open to listening to my perspective when it came to my footing in the world and how I experience society. And I would ask him questions like, do you ever, like, recognize that you're a white dude? Like, do you live in the world like, oh, I'm white, I know that I'm white? Because being black is, like, clearly we can't take our skin off. And being black is an experience that I haven't experienced anything else, so I really don't know. But for me, I'm very conscious of the fact that I'm black. Like, when I go into places, when I go into establishments, I know that I'm black. When I hang around other cultures, I know that I'm the black girl. I have friends that are from, Southeast Asia. I have friends that are from Vermont that's like Lily, yeah, oh my God, super duper white. Like, I have friends that are like Jamaican and they're like dark, dark, deep, deep, deep cocoa. And I understand like who I am. I can't walk into a store and not feel like, okay, maybe I'm going to be followed because I'm black, or feel like I'm in a certain setting and, okay, I'm the black girl, so I'm representing for other black girls because these people probably won't have the opportunity to be around another black woman, especially not one like me because, I'm just Ro Jones. I'm a dime a dozen. So I would ask him that and he would just be like, no, like, it's not a thing. Like, I never think about it. Like, I just live I'm just of this world. And I'm like, wow, like what that must feel like to just know that you are good wherever you go. You could fucking backpack through Europe. I mean, stuff happened to white people too, but the odds are in their favor, if you know what I mean. Then I dated another white dude, and he was a little kinky. Okay. I mean, like, kick you in the balls type of kinky. And I kind of felt a little fetishized by him. And that happens a lot, you know. And then I kind of, like, I wonder, like, is being fetishized, like, necessarily a bad thing? Like, of course we want to be loved for who we are, but I don't mind a dude, like, obsessing over me or, like, being, like, really attracted to, like, me and my aesthetic. Like, I don't necessarily think it's a bad thing. I think it's a bad thing when you don't care who the person is and you are just only about the fetish. Like, and it's just only about a physical thing. You know what I mean? But if you want to praise a black goddess, like, what? I'm all for that. Okay, there's nothing wrong with that. If you want to love on me and praise this and fetishize a little bit, then that's okay. But if it's a little crazy, you know, there's a line that can't be crossed when it comes to that sort of thing. But I couldn't really get what, you know, I mean, it was a little fun, you know, and I did feel like I was a little, maybe kicking, you know, for my ancestors. But that was short-lived. You know, I couldn't really get with that too much. And then I dated another one. I mean, I didn't, let's put a little disclaimer. I was not sleeping with every white dude that I, you know, dated. Like, you could date people and just literally go out on dates and get to know them without being physically intimate. So I do not want y'all to think I just went around spreading my chocolate thighs for all of these dudes that I'm telling y'all about. So I dated this one dude and we went out, right? We only went out like 3 times because he did something on one of the dates that I just like, it really turned me off. We were talking about, the thing is, it's very tricky because they can't relate. So when you talk about like racial issues or police brutality or racial profiling, they don't know how to relate to that. And some will try to at least be a little bit sensitive and they will understand that they have no place trying to tell you what it's like or what is what when it comes to certain issues that we experience in the black community. So we were talking about police brutality. We were at a bar. You know how they have like commercials, TVs, flat screens at the bar because people go there to watch games. We were at a bar and a commercial came on, like some police brutality. It was something that was going on at the time. We are definitely living in a climate where people are targeted because of the color of their skin. It's unfortunate that we are the same rhetoric. It's just the same thing from when Martin Luther King and Malcolm X. It's the same thing. And I told him about an experience that I had with a white police officer because he was like, oh, white people are killed more by cops. And it's like, bro, there are way more white people in this country than there are black. So it's not a proportion. Like, there's no way to really, how do you add that up? Come on. And white people do a ton of shit before they actually even get arrested. I done seen a video where a bitch stole a cop car, jumped out the car, took the gun from the cop, gun butted the cop, crashed the cop car. I'm like, how did she manage to do all of this when a chick that looked like me, rest in peace to Sandra Bland, got stopped at the fucking, because she wouldn't put her cigarette out and she ended up going to jail. She ended up dead. Or somebody got their hands up in the air. It's just like, come on. I really didn't like that. Like, I told him that I had got arrested by the police one time, and I was, like, assaulted. Like, I have a big bosom. I had a necklace on, and the cop was, like, caressing my breast area, caressing my necklace. First of all, male cops are not supposed to touch females. Like, I know a little bit of the law, and when I told him that, he was like, well, who wouldn't want to touch you? Look at you. I was like, oh, no. See, that's that rape culture shit that I'm not into, and especially coming from a white dude. Oh, hell no. So he ain't never seen me again after that. Like, it's not funny, but. So, another instance, I dated another white dude. I don't know if I'm using the term date too loosely. I'm not sure. But I hung out, like, you know, hey, I'm a single woman. If I want to go out and get a drink or get some dinner, get some energy, like whatever. So we go to a lounge, and he's just like staring, like, I had like a piece on. This motherfucker kept touching. I'm like, you cannot do that. You cannot be touching all up in my motherfucking. But they don't know. They don't know any better. They're trying to explore. It's kind of like foreign territory when you're dealing with someone not of your likeness that you're not used to. I'm exotic, like, especially to somebody that don't look like me. Exotic, unique, different, where I'm exotic. So that was the thing that I didn't like. And he kept saying, oh, is that your hair? Is that your hair? Like, bruh, why is you so worried about my hair? Does it look good? Is it nice? That's all you need to be focused on. Like, I made out with one, and he was trying to go all up in there. Like, you cannot do that. You going, and I had, like, one of those drawstring, like, half a wig, quick weave. I had to keep, like, dodging and weaving, bobbing and weaving. Like, who want to do that when they making out with somebody? So that was the thing that I noticed. They can't relate to, certain cultural situations, especially when it comes to racism. And they don't know that you can't be all up in a girl, like, you can't be all up in a black woman's weave or her hairpiece, all right? Because you're going to feel some lumps and bumps. And don't nobody want to have to explain all the time what they hear. Is that your hair? Is this your hair? Like, don't be asking about a black girl's hair unless y'all really, like, deep in a relationship. Don't be all up in it trying to touch up in it. Like, come on, no. No. So those are some of the things that, like, I just couldn't get with. And then, like, the dancing, like, I don't like when guys be backing their ass up on me. Like, I don't like that. I'm not saying that all of them do that, but some of them like to do that. And I'm not into that. I just really felt like my role, it was like, because I'm like, a black woman, like, I was always expected to be, like, more dominant. And, like, I am bold and I'm a little loud and flamboyant sometimes, but I like to be a little submissive as well. I'm a woman. Like, I want someone to, like, take control sometimes. And the few white dudes that I dated, they were more passive, This one, like, we didn't even really date. Like, we went out one time and he was just, like, way over the top. Like, we were talking about cuckolding. I'm like, oh my God. Like, I can't be with a man that wants to watch me or is willing to watch me sleep with another dude. Like, no. I want my man to be like, hell no, I'm not about to have you, my woman, sleeping with nobody else. That wasn't attractive to me. But I don't think it's just necessarily a race thing when it comes to these characteristics, because a lot of, people from different cultures and people of my background, they probably are not as aggressive or dominant when it comes to being in a relationship with a woman. So I think it just has a lot to do with who you are, and it's a case by case. But those little things like the hair touching, and then they, I just didn't like that. And then, like, the fact that we can't relate, it made it a little difficult to find, like, a common ground. Because if I experience something, I want to be able to come home and be like, babe, like, this is what happened. Like, oh my God. And I'm not to say that, like, there aren't maybe some white dudes out there that, even if they can't directly relate, they could be, like, a listening ear or, like, just not biased, And I think it's difficult to do that because when you have to feel like you are representing for your whole culture or your whole race, like, it's difficult to not be defensive. So sometimes, like, I've experienced white dudes, like, get defensive about certain things, even when it had nothing to do with them. Like, they just automatically felt, like, on defense mode. I don't know. All in all, I would say that I had some dope experiences. Like, some of them were very sweet and kind and nurturing and smart, and you get to, like, learn different things when you date people that didn't grow up like you, have a different background. You gain a new perspective. But I like chocolate. Who knows what I'll end up with in the future? I have no idea. But I'm going to try to leave it open and just know that, like, love, it shouldn't have any race or creed or color. But there are cultural differences. And that's my experience dating outside of my race. Tell me what y'all think. Like, subscribe. Have you ever dated interracially? Would you? How does your family feel about it? My father personally is not with the shit. He's like, nah, bro, like, nah. He doesn't even know. Like, I hope he don't see this video. Because that is not a conversation that we've had. I don't know if I'm ever going to be ready to have that conversation with him unless I fall head over heels with someone that I'm going to present as, like, somebody that I'm going to be with. What do y'all think? Comment. Please comment. Let me know. Have you ever had any interracial dating experiences? Were they crazy? I just gave y'all a general, like, background of what my experience was like. All right. Hello, babies.